Youri Tielemans to Arsenal, new twist in there for you. Edu flies to Valencia. You know, this is the second time he's going to Valencia in the space of 1 week, meaning that he is really having a player he wants in from that side of Valencia. Is it a player from Villarreal? We have confirmation coming in from Arsenal Football London in there for you. Hector Bellerin in the mix and Gabriel Jesus and what he said after that 4-goal involvement he really had against a side which goes by the names of Leicester City at Emirates. Welcome to Rokani Media Football. How are you guys and where are you watching us from? I go by the names of Rokani David. Smash the like button, guys, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Arsenal fans are buzzing. They're buzzing and they are second on the Premier League table and they are tied with Man City. Two games played, 6 wins. Man City is having a goal difference of 6 and Arsenal is having a goal difference of 4. Remember, they scored 2 against Crystal Palace and scored 4 against Leicester City, but they conceded 2 goals. Man City, I think, it's one of the only teams that has not yet conceded a goal in the Premier League. 2 games, 2 clean sheets, 6 points. What a season to way to start. Is Arsenal going to stretch with Man City to that limit of not really conceding and really throwing in points? We wait and see where this is really going to go. Smash the like button, guys. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to go into the lower right bottom corner and smash the subscription button. After smashing it, hit the notification bell to enable you get notified each and every time I upload a video onto this channel. Now today, we are having a new twist into the Youri Tielemans move to a side which goes by the names of Arsenal. I told you yesterday, if you remember very well, that when you look at the body language of Youri Tielemans and Wesley Fofana, those 2 players want out of Leicester. That's not the performance of Youri Tielemans. That's why he was taken off in the 63rd minute and another player was brought onto the field of play, because he doesn't want to play for Leicester. His body language doesn't want to be at Leicester. I think Brendan Rodgers gate is better. Look at how Wesley Fofana played. He showed you that his body language too never wanted to be at Leicester. After Chelsea putting in a bid of close to £75 million and Leicester are wanting £80 million for Wesley Fofana, obviously the player doesn't want to be here. But my concentration is so much on Youri Tielemans. And remember, last week we brought you a story reading that Leicester City are aware that Youri Tielemans will not renew his contract with the club and are now prepared to sell him around £25 million. That is a story that came in from the Standard, and now Simon Collins, a football writer for Evening Standard, again has gone ahead to reconfirm it that this is not going to go as Leicester planned it, because Leicester wanted to see to it that this player at least adds one year on his contract such that they sell him expensively. The player is telling them, I want a move away to Arsenal. Now today, the Times Sport has really told us that Leicester are willing to let Youri Tielemans go for £25 million this summer, but would now be happy if he stayed another season and left for free next summer. This is what the Times is telling us about a man who goes by the names of Youri Tielemans, that they are really willing to let him go on a free. Something I don't believe right about now, that Leicester can really let this player to go on a free, because Leicester is a team that I know that are good at really scouting. Their scouting network is really good. The reason as to why Soumare wants to go is because Youri Tielemans is here and he cannot play any game. He's not getting enough playing time, and that's why he's threatening to leave Leicester City, and Leicester are really willing to let him go. And I know Leicester have already scouted a player to come in and replace Youri Tielemans, because they are really good. When you look at the amount of money they bought Youri Tielemans from France, I think they bought him for just peanuts. The same applies to Wesley Fofana. You get Wesley Fofana is wanted by Chelsea, and Chelsea is going to pay £80 million. You get? Then Youri Tielemans to Arsenal, if at all they get £25 million out of Arsenal for Youri Tielemans, they can really get like £10-15 million and bring in a player whom they are going to nurture and then get good money out of him. I think it was a mistake made by Leicester City last summer, knowing that your player is left with 2 years on his contract, and Arsenal wants him, and you're valuing him £65 million. Arsenal comes in, knocks on the door with 45, and you say, no, we want 65. So I think they're paying for the mistake they did, but I don't believe that this story from the Times, that they're really willing to let him go. The only reason as to why I can really have a little belief in this story is that obviously, to get a replacement of Tielemans, get out Tielemans now, Leicester is one of the teams that has not signed any player this summer. When you get out Tielemans now, it leaves a very big void into that midfield. Remember, you're only having Ndidi Winfred into that midfield area, and he's also an injury-prone player. So I really believe that it's hard. It's a decision that is hard to make, because you have either to accept that I'm going to lose him on a free next season, or to say, all right, I'm not going to lose him on a free. Let me get in the 25 million pounds and really let him go. And at the back of the mind, if at all Leicester are really willing to let him go at 25 million pounds, then why should they hesitate? Because they lost to Arsenal yesterday by 4-2. And by the way, Leicester was not a bad side. Leicester was not a bad side, but Arsenal was just a better side. That's what we have not yet recognized. Leicester played very well, but the problem was they couldn't match the levels and the talent that Arsenal really had. You get? That's the problem as to why they lost, but they never played very bad. They played very well according to me. Leicester really put up a show against Arsenal. I think most of you can agree with me. Leicester put up a show, but the problem was every time they came close to the score, Arsenal went ahead to really restore their 2-goal lead. After Saliba scored an own goal, it took Arsenal 3-4 minutes to restore the score back to 3-1, and it was a 2-goal difference. 74, in the 74th minute, Maddison scored to narrow the score to 3-2, and guess what happened? After 1 minute, Martinelli made it 4-2. So it wasn't that Leicester City were a bad side. If at all you're watching that game, in the first 50 minutes of the game, Arsenal had not gone into this game. You know that very well. And Leicester had close to 2 chances of really closing down Arsenal and really hitting them and hurting them. And Leicester would have taken the lead. But guess what? They never utilized their chances. And when Arsenal got their chances, they really utilized them. So I think they were a better side, but I think they were a good side, but Arsenal really were better according to me. So we are having another tweet from a man who goes by Jason Souter, writer of F Football 35, Planet Sport, contributor to AFC Newsroom, and he's a former Opta analyst in the For You. He has told us something that should excite Arsenal fans and why Arsenal should go in for Youri Tielemans this summer. He has told us that Arsenal subbed both fullbacks, a winger, and their striker yesterday. No changes in the central midfield, and if we were to bring someone on, it would have been El Nini or Sambi Lokonga. I think we really need to get Youri Tielemans this summer. So he's telling you that the manager needed to really make substitutions in the midfield. Obviously, reinforcement was needed, but obviously the players on the bench were not trusted by the manager. I really believe that. Amid this El Nini putting up a very good performance towards the last 7 games of the season, the manager doesn't trust him, because in yesterday's game, he would have brought him in if I really trusted him, but he never. So that shows you that they need Youri Tielemans, and this is the reason as why they should go in and bring Youri Tielemans. And they took off Zinchenko for Kiantieni, Ben White for Tomiyasu. You get? They brought on Emily Smith-Rowe for, is it Bukayo Saka, or I think Bukayo Saka in there for you. And no central midfielder was brought on. Even Gabriel Jesus got off, and Edin Ketia came in through to play some minutes. So that shows you that Arsenal is really lacking strength or depth into the midfield area. That's why Tielemans is really on the ladder, and I think 25 million pounds is really a bargain for a team which goes by names of Arsenal, and I think they're really going to go in all and sign him. I know Arsenal always sign players on the deadline, and I know this deal is really going to go on and on and on until the deadline day. According to me, I really believe this deal is going to go on until the deadline day. So that's what I really believe, that this deal is going to go on until the deadline day. But I know Youri Tielemans is going to become a player of a team which goes by the names of Chelsea. So after Youri Tielemans' story, lots to talk about. By the end of this video, I'm going to show you how Tielemans really featured against Arsenal. He never really had a very good game. That's why I told you earlier that his heart is not at the side which goes by the names of Leicester. His heart is at Emirates. And let me show you something that Arsenal fans were chanting. Let me show you this. Arsenal fans were telling Youri Tielemans this. This is what Arsenal fans were chanting. Arsenal fans had a chant to Youri Tielemans that, Youri Tielemans, we will see you next week in the For You, meaning that Youri Tielemans is going to be an Arsenal player next week, and Arsenal fans are eagerly waiting for him. If there is a transfer that Arsenal fans are eagerly waiting for, it was for Rafinha. The transfer of Rafinha was eagerly waited for by Arsenal fans, more than that of even Gabriel Jesus. But Tielemans is one of those players that Arsenal are really waiting for in there for you. Now, let me show you this. Let me show you this. I want to show you this. All right. Do you spot the man in black? Do you spot the man in black? That is Edu on plane. That is Edu on plane. That is Edu on plane. Guess what? Where was he flying to? He was flying to a side which goes by names of Valencia. That is Edu for you, the technical director of Arsenal. And now, a story has been really brought to us to our table by Football London, and these photos were taken by Rainier in that for you. It's welcome aboard. It's really how can I tell? It's an airline. It's an airline. So they've told us that a wide position remains an area of interest for the club of Arsenal to find solutions. And according to the number of reports, Villarreal's Yeremy Pino is on Arsenal's ladder. You all know that. That has been known. We've done stories about Yeremy Pino and his links to sides of Arsenal. Then now, with Edu pictured flying to Valencia, the home of the Yellow Submarine, it has heightened excitement between Arsenal fans to this transfer. So Yellow Submarine, that is Villarreal. Obviously, when you hear Yellow Submarine, that is Villarreal. And that was Edu flying to that side. And we've been again told that the picture shows Edu appearing to board at Ryanair, fly to the Spanish city. This sparked the airline to tweet a quote captioned, Edu Pino on the returned flight. You see, even the airline tweeted and put Edu Pino on the return flight. So he went and then got back. You get? So it looks like there is something serious Edu is really trying to chase for from Valencia, and it's rumored to be Pino. Pino is one of the midfielders that really plays as a right winger. Liverpool likes him, and even Arsenal are reeling for him. Recently, I even heard that United are in for that winger. So let's wait and see. And this guy is young. He's 19 years of age. He has really put up a lot of good performances in Spain, and he's really one of the talked of wingers that are really going to shake the world in the next coming years. Edu is working tooth and nail. This Arsenal side looks good, but Arteta and Edu believe that there are some players that are lacking. Youri Tielemans in the central midfield. They're looking for a left-footed central defender. Then they're also looking for a right winger who plays with the left foot. What surprised me about Pino is that Pino is not left-footed. He's right-footed, but he thrives well onto that right flank, and I really believe that that's what is exciting Edu. And I know this week that we are going into Arsenal really going to bring in a player. I just feel it, because the last time Zinchenko in America, even before the Premier League started. Now we are 2 weeks into the Premier League, and Arsenal looked like they're reluctant. But as Fabrizio told you that they are not reluctant, he is really working under the ladder, and he wants to bring in a mystery signing. So I think those to and fro flights from Valencia are really abnormal for Edu, and Edu is really chasing something for them. Remember, even last week, after the weekend, after that win over Crystal Palace on Saturday, he was in Valencia. Who reported that he was in Valencia? The wife posted on her Instagram story that the guy is in Valencia. So it shows you that Valencia is near Villarreal, and obviously we know that Edu is up for something from that side, which goes by names of Villarreal. So guys, tell me what you think about Yeremy Pino and Edu's frequent flights to a side which goes by names of Valencia, as told us by Ryanair in the for you that the guy is ever flying to Valencia. We don't know the reason, but obviously it's simple. They are really in for a player who goes by names of Pino from that side. Now we are being told that Bellerin's agent Albert Botinez is still talking to Arsenal. Both parties prefer to end the relationship now. The Gunners have 3 fullbacks, and Hector Bellerin wants to return to Spain. The agent is in contact with Betis, who are working on their own exits in there for you. So this agent of Hector Bellerin flew in, I think, on Wednesday, and rumors were that they are renegotiating to terminate the contract. But Arsenal looked through it and said, all right, but why should we terminate this contract? Don't you think the £4 million that Real Betis is giving us for this player, Hector Bellerin, can help us really thump up or really tighten up our transfer spending spree? Obviously, now they are back on the negotiating table. The agent is trying to see to it that if the player really leaves Arsenal, and your Betis are really trying to really get out some players. Because in Spain, ever since COVID, these teams were really hit bad. You get the finances are really so much a problem to these teams, and now that's why they want to really offload some players, such that they bring in Hector Bellerin and they register him. Remember, Hector Bellerin had his loan spell at Real Betis for a full year, and he wants to go there and see to it that he plays there for you. I think he just wants to attract the eyes of the Spanish coach ahead of the World Cup. He really believes they can put up a shift, but I don't believe he can go past Azpilicueta. There is even Cavallal. Those two, I think, they are so much solid into that right full-back position of Spain. But let's wait and see what is going to transpire tomorrow as far as this day is concerned, of a player who goes by the names of Hector Bellerin. Once a player at Arsenal, the right back that was brought into the starting 11 of Arsenal by Arsene Wenger. He played under Mikel Arteta, played in very well, but obviously they fell off because Mikel Arteta believes he really needs to bring in his own players. And obviously, in that entire team of Arsenal that is playing, only one player was not signed by, I think there are two: Bukayo Saka, Martinelli, Emily Smith-Rowe, and a player who goes by the names of Granit Xhaka. But the others came in from the academy. The ones I'm talking about: Bukayo Saka Academy, Emily Smith-Rowe Academy, Martinelli Academy. So those are not counted because it was Unai Emery that gave Bukayo Saka his debut, isn't it? So these others all came in from the academy, and the only player that has not signed in that team is obviously Granit Xhaka. The rest, he's the one who has signed them. You get? So he's building his own empire at a side which goes by the names of Arsenal, that is really showing progress, and progress game in, game out. Now, you know that on Saturday, that is yesterday, a man who goes by the names of Gabriel Jesus really came in and really scored very many goals, and those were two, and he really got 2 assists on his name yesterday. So, talking to ESPN, this is what he said after yesterday's game. Now, I have a different mind. I believe in myself a lot. I'm back to smiling, to having confidence playing, and that's why things are working out. For a long time, I thought like that, but I've returned the usual Gabriel. So, the freedom this guy is having at Arsenal, being played into that position that he really believes should be the position that he should be playing in regularly. There is a player who goes by names of Gabriel Jesus. He's really happy. He's really happy because Man City never gave him such a treatment, and Mikel Arteta has given him a treatment that is worth it, and he's here to really guide Arsenal to the Champions League football. And trust me, I've always told you guys, I was on Kosi Arsenal podcast towards the end of last season. I think when the last game was played, I really talked to Kosi Arsenal podcast. There was Glenn too. I told them that there is something that is boiling at Arsenal, that Mikel Arteta is really cooking, and I think it's getting ready. My verdict was, if Mikel Arteta brings in a central defender who is left-footed, sorry, I talked of a central defender. I never really mentioned whether right-footed or left-footed, but I really felt like when Gabriel and Magalhaes are where Arsenal looked weak, and then Saliba came in through. A central midfielder, a left back, a right attack midfielder, a centre forward. I really talked of 4 players, but guess what? They've so far brought in 5, and I really believe that they're going in for more 2 or 3. I told Glenn and Kosi on that podcast that Arsenal is going to get 90 points. I told them Arsenal lost points because they never really had squad depth. But right now, even the games they wouldn't have won last season, they're going to win them because of the Gabriel Jesus factor. Look, Martinelli has hit the ground running, 2 goals in 2 games. Bukayo Saka, 1 assist so far, no goal yet. Gabriel Jesus is on fire. So, and as we grow into the season, more players of Arsenal are really going to pick up on form. So, I really believe that Gabriel Jesus is a very good addition. And one thing that excited me about this guy, Mikel Arteta told us that he was fuming in the dressing room that he would have scored even more. He missed out on like more two other chances. He said, I would have scored 4 goals, so he was not happy for scoring 2. That mentality is really the right mentality. Arsenal really deserves to be in. So that is the man who goes by the name of Mikel Arteta, Gabriel Jesus, saying he's now happy at Arsenal and he's willing to guide them to where they're supposed to be. Star man, star player, obviously to me, he is way up there. He's way up there. Those strikers that most people are really hailing. He was being put back, reason being, they never really gave him to lead the line at Man City. Trust me, at the end of the season, I'm predicting that Gabriel Jesus is going to outscore Haaland. That's it. He's going to outscore Haaland. Haaland yesterday, 4 goals scored by Man City. He just put up an assist. He was not on the score sheet. So, I don't believe that on any day Arsenal will put up 4 goals and Gabriel Jesus will never have a score. And Gabriel Jesus is everything at Arsenal, leading the line. So guys, thank you very much for watching in. Tell me what you think about the new Youri Tielemans to Arsenal twist. Edu to and from Valencia chasing for Yeremy Pino deal. Then Hector Bellerin's agent still negotiating with Arsenal to see the possible resolution for his next move. And Gabriel Jesus telling us that he's happy at Arsenal and he's really going to do the needful for the club. I sign out for now. See you later. May the Almighty God protect you abundantly. I go by the names of Rokani David. I sign out, guys.